Exercise 10.5. Find the value of each of the following. Right, so we have two fractions and we need to subtract. So you can see both fractions have the same denominator, right? So the resultant fraction will have what? The same denominator as well. And the numerator will be what? 8 minus 7, which is 1. Second one, same thing. We have two fractions that we need to subtract. So both of them have the same denominator, right? So that means the answer will have the same denominator. What will be the numerator? 13 minus 7, which is 6. Now we can further simplify this fraction. So this becomes what? 1/2. So this is the final answer. We have two fractions where the denominators are equal. So what will be the answer? 2 by 5. Fourth one, two fractions where the denominators are equal. So denominator of the answer we will get as 11. 19 minus 8, what is that? 11. So numerator and the denominator both are the same. That means this is equal to 1. Okay, so the fifth one. So here we have two fractions where the denominators are different. So we need to consider the least common denominator. So the denominators are 4 and 2. So we have to consider the LCM of these two numbers, which will be what? 4. 3/4 we don't have to do any conversions. Why? The denominator is already a 4, right? So 1/2 we need to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 2. 1 into 2, that is 2. 2 into 2, that is 4. Now these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So 3 by 4 minus 2 by 4. So what's the outcome of this? 1 by 4. Right. So the next fraction, what are the denominators? One is a 3 and the other one is a 12. Right? So if we consider the numbers 3 and 12, what will be the LCM? It will be 12. So for this fraction, we don't have to do any conversions. But for 2 by 3, we have to do some conversions. So 2 by 3, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4. 2 into 4, that is 8. 3 into 4, that is 12. Now these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So now here, instead of 2 by 3, I can use what? 8 by 12 minus 7 by 12. Now what's the outcome of this? 1 by 12. The next one also we have two fractions where the denominators are different. One has a denominator of 7 and the other one has a denominator of 14. So we have to consider the least common denominator, right? So the denominators are 7 and 14. So the LCM is what? 14. We don't have to do any conversions for this fraction, but for this we have to do 15 by 7. We will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 2. So this becomes what? 13 by 14. Now these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So instead of this fraction, I can write this fraction, which is 13 by 14 minus 11 by 14. So what's the outcome of this? Denominator will be 14. 30 minus 10, it will be 20. 20 minus 1, it will be 19. Now, this is not the final answer. As you can see, here we have what? Improper fraction. So we have to convert this into what? A mixed number. So this will be what? 1 and 5 by 14. So here I can rewrite the first fraction as 2 plus 2 by 5. Then the second fraction as minus 1 minus 3 by 20. Okay. Then I can simplify the two whole number parts. 2 minus 1, that is 1. Then we have two fractions where the denominators are different. So one denominator is a 5 and the other one is a 20. So we need to come up with the common denominator. What will it be? 20. So 2 by 5, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4. So what I will get? 8 by 20. So 1 plus, I can write instead of 2 by 5, 8 by 20. So 3 by 20, we don't have to do any conversions because the denominator is already at 20. So minus 3 by 20. So 1 plus, what's the outcome here? 5 by 20. So I will continue over here. So 1 plus 5 by 20 means what? We can further simplify this as what? 1 by 4. So the outcome is 1 and 1 by 4. Okay. So here we have two fractions. Denominators are different, right? So the denominators are 2 and 5. So the least common multiple of 2 and 5 will be what? 10. So 3 by 2, I have to multiply both denominator and numerator by 5. So this becomes 15 by 10. In the same manner, 6 by 5, I will have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. So this becomes what? 12 by 10. Now these two fractions and also these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. Right, so I can rewrite this as what? 15 by 10 minus 12 by 10. So here the outcome is what? 3 by 10. Okay, so here we have a 6 and a 4 as the two denominators of the two fractions. So the LCM will be what? 12. So 5 by 6, I have to multiply both denominator and the numerator by 2. So this becomes what? 10 by 12. 3 by 4, I'll have to multiply both denominator and the numerator by 3. So this becomes what? 9 by 12. So instead of 5 by 6, I can write 10 by 12 minus, instead of 3 by 4, I can write 9 by 12. Okay, so here the outcome will be what? 1 by 12. So here the denominators are what? 7 and a 5. So what will be the least common denominator of these two? It will be 35. So 11 by 7, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 5. So this becomes what? 55 by 35. 4 by 5, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 7. So this becomes what? 28 by 35. Now these two fractions and these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So I can rewrite this as what? 55 by 35 minus 28 by 35. So what will be the outcome of this? 27 by 35, no? So here we have two denominators of 8 and 6. So the least common multiple will be what? 24. Right? So 9 by 8, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So this fraction becomes what? 27 by 24. 5 by 6, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4. So this fraction becomes what? 20 by 24. Right. So now these two fractions along with these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. Right? So 27 by 24 minus 20 by 24. So what's the outcome of this? 7 by 24. So here also the denominators are different. Right? We have 8 and a 12 as the two denominators. So of these two, what will be the common denominator? That means we have to consider the LCM of 8 and 12. So it will be 24. So 7 by 8, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes 21 by 24. 5 by 12, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 2. So this becomes 10 by 24. Now these two fractions along with these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So this will be 21 by 24 minus 10 by 24. So what's the outcome of this? 11 by 24. So here we have another two fractions where the denominators are different. So we have to consider the LCM of 9 and 6. So it will be what? 18. So 8 by 9, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 2. So this becomes 16 by 18. 5 by 6, I will have to multiply the denominator and the numerator by 1? 3. So this becomes 18 by 15. Now these two fractions along with these two fractions are what? Equivalent fractions. So 16 by 18 minus 15 by 18. So here the outcome is what? 1 by 18. Okay. Exercise 10.6. So we have to do some simplifications, right? Here we have two mixed numbers. So first of all we can simplify the whole number parts. 2 minus 1, it will be 1. Plus 3 by 5 minus 1 by 5. So 1 plus, what's the outcome of this? 2 by 5. Then what's the final answer? 1 and 2 by 5. Part 2, here also two mixed numbers. So first of all we can simplify the whole number parts. So 4 minus 1, it will be a 3. Plus 5 by 7 minus 4 by 7. So 3 plus, what's the outcome of this? 1 by 7. Then we need to add these two. So we will be getting 3 and 1 by 7. Okay, third one. So here we have a mixed number. This is not a mixed number, the other one. So it's a proper fraction. So simply, what do we have to do? We have to simplify the fraction parts. So we can expand this or rewrite this. 2 plus 7 by 8 minus 4 by 8. So 2 plus, what's the outcome of this? 3 by 8. So 2 and 3 by 8. That's the answer. Right. Here we have a whole number and a mixed number. So first of all I can rewrite this. 2 minus 1 minus 1 by 4. Then I can simplify these two whole numbers. So the outcome will be what? 1. 1 minus 1 by 4 or 1 quarter. So there, what's the outcome? 3 by 4. So we can rewrite this fraction. 3 minus 1 minus 5 by 6. So here the outcome is what? 2. 2 minus 5 by 6. I can rewrite this 2 as what? 1 plus 1 minus 5 by 6. So 1 means what? 1 plus 6 by 6. Then from that we can subtract 5 by 6. So I will continue from here. So 1 plus, what's the outcome of this? 1 by 6. Then the final answer will be what? 1 and 1 by 6. So I will rewrite this mixed number. 2 minus 1 minus 5 by 16. Then I will simplify these two. So the outcome will be what? 1. 1 minus 5 by 16. 1 will be what? 16 by 16, considering this fraction where the denominator is 16. So 16 by 16 minus 5 by 16. So what's the answer? 11 by 16. Okay, question number 7. So I will rewrite these mixed numbers. 8 plus 7 by 10 minus 3 minus 2 by 5. Then I will consider the whole number parts and simplify them. So 8 minus 3, the outcome will be 5. Plus 7 by 10 minus 2 by 5. Now we have to simplify these two fractions. Denominators are different. Least common denominator will be what? 10. So 2 by 5, I'll have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. So this becomes 4 by 10. So 5 plus 7 by 10 minus, since these two fractions are equivalent fractions, I can write 4 by 10 instead of 2 by 5. So 4 by 10. Now I will continue from here. So 5 plus, what's the outcome of this? 3 by 10 So 5 and 3 by 10, that's the answer. Right, here also I will rewrite these two mixed numbers. So 2 plus 2 by 5 minus 1 minus 3 by 20. Then I will simplify these two whole numbers, so the outcome will be 1 plus 2 by 5 minus 3 by 20. Now we need to simplify these two fractions, but the thing is the denominators are different. So we need to think of what? Least common denominator. So when we consider these two numbers, the least common denominator will be 20. So 2 by 5, I'll multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4. Then I will be getting 8 by 20. So 1 plus, instead of 2 by 5, I can write 8 by 20. So 8 by 20 minus 3 by 20. Now 1 plus, what's the outcome here? 5 by 20. So I will continue from here. So 1 and 5 by 20. Now be careful. We have to simplify this part as well. Right? So 1 and 1 by 4. That's the answer. So just as before, I will rewrite these mixed numbers. So 2 plus 2 by 3 minus 1 minus half. Now I will simplify the whole number parts. So the outcome will be 1 plus 2 by 3 minus 1 half. So we have two fractions, denominators are different. So the least common denominator will be 6. So 2 by 3, I will multiply both numerator and the denominator by 2. So the outcome will be 4 by 6. So 1 plus 4 by 6 minus 1 half means 3 by 6. So 1 plus, what's the outcome here? 1 by 6. So I will continue from here. That means what? 1 and 1 by 6. That's the answer. Okay, here I will rewrite the fractions. So 3 plus 3 by 4 minus 1 minus 7 by 18. Then I will simplify the whole number parts. So the outcome will be 2 plus 3 by 4 minus 7 by 18. Two fractions, denominators are different. So what will be the least common denominator? Out of these two numbers, the least common denominator should be 36. Right? So 3 by 4, I will multiply both numerator and the denominator by 9. So this becomes 27 by 36. 7 by 18, I will multiply both denominator and numerator by 2. So this becomes 14 by 36. Right? So 2 plus, instead of 3 by 4, I can write 27 by 36 minus, instead of 7 by 18, I can write 14 by 36. Right, so now I will continue over here. So 2 plus 27 minus 14, what is that? 13. 13 by 36. So that means 2 and 13 by 36. We can't further simplify this anymore. So I will rewrite these two fractions. Then I will simplify the whole number parts. So the outcome will be 2 plus 5 by 8 minus 1 by 6. Two fractions, denominators are different. We have to subtract. So what will be the least common denominator? 24. So 5 by 8, I will multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes 15 by 24. So 2 plus 15 by 24 minus 1 by 6. I will multiply both denominator and numerator by 4. So this becomes 4 by 24. 4 by 24. Right, so now I will continue over here. So 2 plus, what's the outcome of this? 11 by 24. So that means 2 and 11 by 24. That's the answer. We can't further simplify this. Right, question number 12. So I will rewrite these two fractions. 4 plus 3 by 10 minus 2 minus 4 by 15. Then I will simplify the whole number parts. So the outcome will be 2. 2 plus 3 by 10 minus 4 by 15. So we have two fractions. Denominators are different. We have to subtract. What will be the least common denominator? 30. So 3 by 10, I will multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So it becomes 9 by 30. 4 by 15, I will multiply both denominator and the numerator by 2. So this becomes 8 by 30. That means 2 plus, instead of 3 by 10 and 4 by 15, I can use these values, right? So 9 by 30 minus 8 by 30. So I will continue over here. So what's the outcome? 2 plus outcome of this 1 by 30. That means 2 and 1 by 30. That's the answer. Right, question number 2. So we have a paragraph question. Sachi traveled 3 and 7 by 10 kilometers to his brother Gamini's house by going the initial 3.5 kilometers by bus and walking the remaining distance. What was the distance that Sachi walked? So we know the total distance. What is that? 3 and 7 by 10 kilometers. So the first 3.5 kilometers, she took the bus, right? So 3.5 kilometers. So the remaining distance she walked. So what do we have to do? We have to subtract 3.5 kilometers from this value, right? Okay, this subtraction I will do by converting each of these mixed numbers into what? Improper fractions. So here the denominator will be 10. What will be the numerator? 3. What will be the numerator? 10 into 3, 30. 30 plus 7, 37. So 37 by 10 minus, here denominator will be 2. What will be the numerator? 2 into 3, 6. Add the 1, it becomes 7. Now we have two fractions where the denominators are different. So what's the least common denominator? 10. So 7 by 2, we will multiply both denominator and numerator by 5. So this becomes 35 by 10. So 37 by 10 minus 35 by 10. So what's the outcome of this? 2 by 10. So we can further simplify this. So 1 by 5. Then you have to write in words, the distance Sachi walked is 1 by 5 kilometers. You have to mention the unit as well. Question number 3. A farmer owns a plot of land of area 4 hectares. He has cultivated kurakkam in 2.5 hectares. What is the extent of the land in which he has not cultivated kurakkam? So we know total area is 4 hectares. He cultivated using 2.5 hectares. So the area or the amount of land which is not cultivated is what? What do we need to do? We need to subtract 2.5 from 4. So 4 minus 2.5. So I will rewrite this fraction. So 4 minus 2 minus and a half, right? So 4 minus 2, that's 2. 2 minus half. What is 2 minus half? 1.5. So you need to write the unit as well, right? So 1.5 hectares. Okay, miscellaneous exercises. Under that, question number 1. So we have two parts. So first part is we have been given a mixed number that we need to convert into an improper fraction. So when we convert a mixed number into an improper fraction, the denominator will always be the same. So in this case, it is 5. What will be the numerator? 5 into 7, 35. 35 plus 3, what is that? 38. So the answer is 38 by 5. Second part. So we have been given an improper fraction that we need to convert into a mixed number. What do? We take 50 and we divide it by 11. How many 11s are there for 50? We can go up to 4. 11 into 4, 44. 50 minus 44, what do we get? 6. So when we convert this improper fraction into a mixed number, what will be the whole number part? 4. Numerator will be 6, denominator will be 11. So this will be the answer. Okay, so question number 2, under that part 1. We have been given several fractions that we need to arrange in ascending order. That means smallest to the largest. Okay, now apart from the usual way of doing the things, there's a very easy way, right? So we can convert these two fractions into mixed numbers, right? So if we consider 15 by 7, if we convert this into a mixed number, what will it be? 2 and 1 by 7. And at the same time, if we consider 5 by 3, what will it be if we convert this into improper fraction? 1 and 2 by 3. So now we can rewrite the same given 4 fractions in a different way. Right, so when we compare these 4 fractions, right, 1/2, that will be the smallest one. Out of these 3 mixed numbers, which one is the larger one? 2 and 1 by 7. Why? If we compare these two mixed numbers and this one, you can see that these two mixed numbers has the same whole number part, which is 1, and also 1 is less than 2. So that means when we compare these 3 fractions, 2 and 1 by 7, that is the largest one. Now we have to figure out of these 2 fractions, which one is the larger one, right? So remember, we are comparing mixed numbers. Every mixed number has a whole number part and a fraction part, but unfortunately we cannot compare these 2 fractions considering their whole number part, because the whole number part of both of these fractions are the same, which is number 1. So definitely we need to compare the fraction part. So one fraction has a denominator of 4 and the other fraction has a denominator of 3. So we need to make them equal. So in this case, both fractions must have the denominator of 12, right? So 1 by 4, I will have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 3. So this becomes what? 3 by 12. And 2 by 3, I will have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. So this becomes what? 8 by 12. Now what do we have to compare? These 2 fractions. Very clearly we can see both fractions have the same denominator. So which one is the larger one? 8 by 12. So that means if we compare the 2 fraction parts, 2 by 3 is larger than 1 by 3. So that means 1 and 2 by 3 is also larger than 1 and 1 by 4. Right. And another thing that we need to remember, whenever we have been given some fractions that we need to arrange in ascending order, the final answer always we need to write in using the given fractions, right? So actually this is not the final answer. Some of these fractions are not the fractions that we have been given. So we need to use them, right? So we can use 1/2. Then we can use 1 and 1 by 4. So what is 1 and 2 by 3? That is 5 by 3. What is 2 and 1 by 7? That is 15 by 7. So this is the final answer. Right, so now we have been given these 4 fractions to arrange in ascending order, right? That means from largest to smallest. Okay, so if we consider the first fraction 2 and 5 by 3, I can rewrite this as what? 2 plus 5 by 3. 5 by 3 I can rewrite as what? 3 by 3 plus 2 by 3. 3 by 3 means what? 1 plus, that means 3 by 3 means entire 1, right? Then what do we have? 2 by 3. Then we can simplify this as what? 3 plus 2 by 3. 3 plus 2 by 3 means what? If we simplify it over here, what is that? 3 and 2 by 3. So that means this mixed number is equal to this one, 3 and 2 by 3. So I have rewritten the first fraction as 3 and 2 by 3. Now when we compare these two fractions, right, if we take a look at the whole number parts, right, they are different. That means we can very easily compare these two mixed numbers based upon their whole number parts. So that means this fraction is larger than this one. So I can write 7 and 1 by 3, then 3 and 2 by 3. Now I have to compare these two fractions. So when we compare these two fractions, clearly the denominators are different. So we need to make them equal. So 3 by 4, I have to multiply that by what? 7. So 21 by 28. Then 5 by 7, I have to multiply that by 4. 5 into 4, that is 20. 7 into 4, that is 28. That means when we compare these two fractions, which one is larger? 3 by 4, right? So after 3 and 2 by 3, I can write 3 by 4. So finally I can write 5 by 7. Right. Now just as before, we need to write the final answer using the fractions that has been given to us. So we can write 7 and 1 by 3. So we cannot write 3 and 2 by 3. Why? We have been given 2 and 5 by 3 as a fraction, right? 3 by 4 or 3/4 we can write, then 5 by 7. So this is the final answer. Okay, question number 3. So we have been given this expression to simplify. Okay. So 1 by 5, I can rewrite this expression as what? 1 plus 1 by 4. Then I can rewrite this expression as what? 3 plus 5 by 7. Now I can further simplify these two whole number parts. So what will it be? 4 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 4 plus 5 by 7. Now I have to simplify these three fractions. So as you can see, we have three denominators, 5, 4 and 7. So we need to consider the LCM of these three numbers. Okay, so when we consider these three fractions, the LCM will be what? 120. So that means 1 by 5, I have to multiply both in the sense, both numerator and the denominator by 28. So what do we get? 28 by 140. Okay, so next we have 1 by 4 or 1/4. We have to multiply both by what? 35. So this becomes what? 35 by 140. Next we have 5 by 7. So we have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 20. So this becomes 100 by 140. Right. Now I can write each of these three fractions in their equivalent fraction form. Right. Then I can simplify these three fractions a bit more. So what I will get? 4 plus 163 by 140. Now we can further simplify this, right? So 4 plus, I can rewrite this fraction as what? 140 by 140 plus 23 by 140. Right. So 4 plus 140 by 140 means what? 1 plus 23 by 140. 4 plus 1, what is that? 5 plus 23 by 140. That means what? 5 and 23 by 140. That's the answer. Right, so this is the next expression that we need to simplify. Okay, so 3 by 5 plus, I can rewrite this as what? 3 plus 5 by 7 plus, then I can rewrite the third fraction as 5 plus 1 by 4. Now I can simplify these two whole number parts. So I get what? 8 plus 3 by 5 plus 5 by 7 plus 1 by 4. So now I have to simplify these three fractions, right? So we have 5, 7 and 4. So we need to consider the LCM, right? So when we consider the LCM of these three fractions, it will be what? 140. So 3 by 5, I'll have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 28. Okay. So 3 into 8, 24. So that's a 2. 3 into 2, 6. Add the 2, it becomes 84. So 84 by 140. Then 5 by 7, I'll have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 20. Okay. So 5 into 20, that is 100. 7 into 20, that is 140. Then 1 quarter, I'll have to multiply that by what? 35. So 1 into 35, 35, divide that by 140. Right. So now I can rewrite these three fractions using their equivalent fractions. So that means 8 plus 3 by 5 means 84 by 140 plus 5 by 7 means 100 by 140 plus 1 by 4 means 35 by 140. Okay, so we will continue over here. So 8 plus, when we add these numerators together, we get what? 219. So the denominator will be what? 140. Now I can rewrite this as what? 8 plus 140 by 140 plus 219 minus 140. So 9 and 7, so 79. So we will be getting 79 by 140. So 8 plus 140 by 140 means what? 1 plus 79 by 140. 8 plus 1, that is 9. 9 plus 79 by 140. So what do we get? 9 and 79 by 140. So that's the answer. Right. So the third expression, we have to simplify this. So I can rewrite this as what? 7 plus 2 by 3 minus 4 minus 1 by 4. Now I can subtract these two values. 7 minus 4, which is 3, plus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 4. Right? Now I have to simplify these two fractions. So the least common denominator will be 12. That means 2 by 3, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4. So this becomes what? 8 by 12. 1 quarter, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes 3 by 12. So that means 3 plus 2 by 3 means 8 by 12 minus 1 by 4 means 3 by 12. So now we can simplify these two fractions. So 3 plus, what's the outcome here? 5 by 12. Right? So now we can continue over here. So 3 and 5 by 12. So that's the answer. Okay, so now we have to simplify this expression. So I can rewrite each of these two fractions in this way. 4 plus 5 by 6 minus 1 minus 3 by 5. Now I can simplify the two whole number parts. 4 minus 1, what is that? 3. Plus 5 by 6 minus 3 by 5. So here we have to do a subtraction. Two fractions, different denominators. So we have to make them equal. So what should be the common denominator? 30. So 5 by 6, I will have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 5. So this becomes 25 by 30. 3 by 5, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 6. So this becomes 18 by 30. Now I can rewrite this as what? 3 plus 25 by 30 minus 18 by 30. So what's the outcome of here? 3 plus 7 by 30. Okay, so now we will continue from here. 3 plus 7 by 30 means what? 3 and 7 by 30. That's the answer. Okay, this expression, right? So I'll rewrite this as what? 4 plus 5 by 8 minus 2 minus 1 by 3. Then I will simplify the two number parts, which is 4 minus 2, that means 2, plus 5 by 8 minus 1 by 3. So when we compare these two denominators, what is the common denominator? 24. So 5 by 8, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes 15 by 24. Then 1 by 3, I'll have to multiply both numerator and the denominator by 8. So this becomes 8 by 24. So I can rewrite this as what? 2 plus 15 by 24 minus 8 by 24. So when we simplify these two fractions, what will be the outcome? 7 by 24. So 2 plus 7 by 24. So we can continue over here. So 2 plus 7 by 24. That means what? 2 and 7 by 24. Okay, question number 6. So I will write the first fraction as 2 plus 1 half and the second fraction as minus 1 minus 3 by 4. Then I can simplify these two whole number parts. So the outcome will be 1 plus 1 half minus 3 by 4. So we will have to simplify these two fractions, right? So the least common denominator or the common denominator will be what? 4, right? So 1 half is equal to what? 2 by 4. So I can rewrite this as what? 1 plus 2 by 4 minus 3 by 4. Now in grade 7, we don't know how to simplify this part. We can't subtract 3/4 from 2 by 4. What do? We will continue over from here. This 1 means what? I can rewrite this as 4 by 4, no? Plus 2 by 4 minus 3 by 4. Now I can simplify these two fractions. What will I get? 6 by 4 minus 3 by 4. Now I can subtract 3/4 from 6 by 4. So what will be the answer? 3/4 or 3 by 4. Question number 4. So we have a sentence question there. Malinga walked for 3 hours at 3.5 kilometers per hour. Find the total distance he walked during the 3 hours as an improper fraction. Right. So we need to calculate the distance. So that is equal to what? So he walked 3 hours at what speed? 3.5 kilometers per hour. So that means for each hour that he walked a total distance of 3.5 hours. So he walked 3 hours. So we have 3 sets of 3.5s. So how can we simplify this? So we can rewrite each of these fractions in this manner. 3 plus 1 half, 3 plus 1 half, 3 plus 1 half. Then we can add the whole number parts. So 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. Plus, now we have what? 3 of halves. So 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 9 plus 1.5. Remember, we need to write the final answer as an improper fraction. Now we can further simplify this. 9 plus 1.5. What is that? 10.5 kilometers. But we have to convert this into what? Improper fraction. So what will it be? 21 by 2 kilometers. That's the answer.